100 rare historical photos that will leave you amazed. Someone had to hand-carve all of the presidents' eyes on Mount Rushmore. With much of the decade dominated by World War II, the 1940s have not gone down in history as the happiest of times. Tourists used to be able to freely climb up the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt to sunbathe and have tea parties. Miss America contestants in 1945. For some reason unbeknownst to me, in 1920, a policeman did this off a building in New York. "1940s Sweethearts." Car seats for children were incredibly dangerous in the 1940s. Trying to stay cool in the summer, NYC, 1943. The original design for the Michelin Man was absolutely terrifying. Two sailors celebrating the end of World War II. This is what an early design for an electric hairdryer looked like. Ladies looking fabulous on their bikes. These are the contestants in the 1930 Miss Lovely Eyes beauty pageant, a contest where a woman had to wear an absolutely terrifying mask so that only her eyes were visible. Salvador Dalí, painting The Face of War, 1941. This 3,000-pound absolute unit is Lubber, the world's largest horse back in 1930. Skate to work, save gas. Easter Bunny costumes were absolutely horrifying in the 1950s. Red Cross women dancing with soldiers. This poster from the late 1800s advertises a fight between the world's thinnest man and the world's fattest man. At the Venice Pier Funhouse in 1940, as the bowl spins, people fight for leverage to stay in the center. This is the Dynasphere, a giant wheel vehicle invented by Dr. J.A. Purvis that could go as fast as 30 mph. Swing dancing in the 1940s. The very first iteration of Ronald McDonald was created by Willard Scott in 1963. "1940s men hamming it up in Victorian bathing suits. This is how condoms were tested in the 1930s. A group of 1940s students doing their schoolwork while drinking some Coca-Cola. For a brief but wondrous moment in time, you could get potatoes from a vending machine. "1940s Navy diver. Whiskey vending machine in the 50s. Cool camera trickery in 1945. Beer vending machines were also a thing in 50s. Danish explorer Peter Freuchen and his wife Dagmar Freuchen Gale, 1947. Before modern car washes were invented, one particularly wacky idea was for cars to drive around through water in a circle. Tattoo parlor, 1942. On September 3, 1967, Sweden made a shift from driving on the left side of the road to driving on the right. This is a picture from the first day after the big change. Marlon Westkoff and Ruth Lichterman reprogramming ENIAC, the first general-purpose electronic computer, in 1946. This is what a gym looked like 2 centuries ago in 1831. Schoolgirls on the A train to Far Rockaway, New York, 1978. A group of friends chat idly while slumped in their seats. This totally safe device was known as a baby cage, a wire cage suspended out of an apartment window meant to give babies born in cities extra light and air. Rush hour on Lexington IRT. A woman looks out of the window on a crowded subway train. This is 455-pound Piet van der Zward, a.k.a. the fattest man in Europe, in 1955. Downtown Express 72nd Street Station, West Side IRT, 1977. Residents wait on the platform as a subway train rushes past. This is Pauline Musters, the shortest woman ever to live. Jerome Avenue, IRT line, 1980. Passengers are seated in a graffitied carriage as a woman looks straight at the camera. In the 1930s, this couple won an Atlantic City dance marathon after dancing for 1,473 hours. Getting to the office, Grand Central Station, 1983. The disconnect between commuters is highlighted in this desolate image. And yes, people did fall asleep, standing up, while dancing at these marathons. On the beat, police control, 72nd Street Station, West Side IRT line, 1977. A police officer looks out over the platform beside a grimy subway train. This is the View Phone, a video phone developed by Toshiba in 1964 that allowed for real-time proto-FaceTiming. Dangerous Ride, Boy Clinging Outside, a subway car, 1978. A boy holds on to the top of the carriage doors as the train prepares to depart from Franklin Avenue Station. California once had a place called the California Alligator Farm, where children were encouraged to get up close and personal with alligators and even take them for rides. Conversation on the A train, Subway NY, 1982. Two passengers chat to one another beside a tequila poster in a shot taken through the window of the carriage. In the early 1900s, one way to transport tons of materials and train parts was to suspend it hundreds of feet in the air and tow it across a canyon. Riding Together, Subway, New York. A woman grimaces beside her partner as a tired man looks on. This man won a costume competition in 1894 while dressed as a piece of bacon. After the rehearsal, Columbus Circle, Subway NY, 1982. Dancers wait on the platform to return to their homes as a train rumbles past. This is a real 19th century advertisement for cough medicine with a very special ingredient: heroin. Elevated Station, 180, St. Queens, New York, 1982. A man walks down the iron steps to a platform overlooking residential buildings. In 1876, Virgil A. Gates patented the mustache guard, an absolutely brilliant invention for holding the mustache out of the way of food or liquid while eating or drinking. A Train to Brighton Beach, 1977. An everyday scene from late 70s New York. During World War II, Walt Disney developed a Mickey Mouse gas mask, designed to help children get comfortable and relaxed while wearing the mask. Here's a totally not frightening close-up. Ghetto Blaster, Man Waiting, 72nd Street Station, West Side IRT Line, 1977. Conductor between subway cars. A conductor peers out over the platform. This is Herman the Cat, a cat who was given the title of Expert Mouser aboard a U.S. Coast Guard ship during World War II. World War II, Youth Party Girls' Attention, 1930-1940s. This is the world's longest limo, the American Dream limo. Frank Sinatra getting off a helicopter with a drink in hand, photographed by Yul Brynner in 1964. This is what a real-deal, true-to-life Muffin Man looked like in 1930s London. Franco, Ford, and Kissinger, 1975. This is one of the earliest designs for roller skates. They didn't catch on for some reason. Battleship USS South Carolina, BB-26, dry docked at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, September 1912. In the 60s, you could buy a mail-order squirrel monkey for $18.95. The temporary grave of Theodore Roosevelt in Normandy, soon after his death, July 1944. In 1909, pigs finally flew. Icarus the pig, Wright, went on a short flight with John Moore Brabazon and finally did the impossible. Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell at the White House in 1993. Fiat once had a car factory with a working test track on the roof. Atomic bomb testing, Nevada, 1955. This is Jack the Baboon, a South African baboon who worked as a signalman at a railway station in the 1800s. During his almost decade of railway work, Jack never made a single mistake. German soldiers being forced to watch footage of Nazi concentration camps, 1945. Here's Hannes de Jong, the 1970 pole-sitting world champion. Well, sitting on a pole. Marilyn Monroe's concert for Turkish soldiers in Korea, 1954. Before the invention of radar, soldiers used big old Looney Tunes-looking contraptions to listen for enemy planes. Children, the Gorbals, Glasgow, 1958. This is the Peel P50, the smallest car ever produced. The control room at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant continues to operate after the disaster, circa July-August 1986. One of the more ridiculous inventions of the 19th century was this, a mass shaving machine designed to shave a bunch of men all at once. Piles of rifles surrendered by German soldiers after the end of the Second World War, 1945. In 1908, huge crowds gathered in Boston to watch Harry Houdini jump off a bridge while tied up in chains. American soldier trying to catch a goldfish in the marble-lined pool of the Taj Mahal, WW2, 1942. Speaking of other things that didn't catch on, this was a proposed firefighting suit designed to drench the wearer in water. During the 1990s economic crisis, Russian teachers were paid with vodka bottles. This is Venus the Bulldog, the official mascot of the HMS Vansittart, a World War II destroyer in the Royal Navy. Padang women asking a London policeman for directions, 1935. This is what a mobile home looked like in the 1930s. A British Indian soldier gives the V for victory sign from a porthole of a ship on his arrival to Singapore, 1941. One of the more creative ways bootleggers would hide alcohol during Prohibition was inside trucks lined with wood, complete with a tiny trapdoor. A picture of the 1933 and first Reichserntedankfest at Buckeberg, a festival meant as recognition for the German farmers and also used as a propaganda tool for the Nazis. In 1961, auditions were held for the role of the Black Cat in the film adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. Lots of black cats showed up. The use of masks during the Spanish flu pandemic, 1918. Karl Marx, London, 1875. A man standing in the lumberyard of Seattle Cedar Lumber Manufacturing, 1939. Soviet rock fans attend a concert in Moscow on September 28, 1991. 500,000 people jammed an airfield to see the Soviet Union's biggest Western rock concert, touted as a gift to Russian youth for their resistance last month's coup. Joseph Goebbels photobombs Adolf Hitler, 1933. This photograph was taken during Mahatma Gandhi's funeral rally in New Delhi. Due to the massive crowd, some onlookers climbed poles to get a better view of Gandhi's deceased body, dated 1948. The Soviet bombing of Helsinki in the middle of the Soviet-Finnish War, the main building of Helsinki University on Senate Square, burns during the night, November 30th, 1939. Dmitry Dubabov, construction of Magnitogorsk, Russia, 1930. Charlie Chaplin and Walter Disney at the racetrack, late 1930s. USS Samuel B. Roberts, transported by the heavy-lift ship Might Servant II, 1988. The USS Samuel B. Roberts was damaged by a $1,500 Iranian mine in the Persian Gulf. The repair cost $89.5 million. USD. George Harrison and Mum Louise at Home Speak Liverpool, 1961. Swedish Major Eric Bonda smokes a cigarette after being ambushed and shot twice. Congo, 1961. Korean mother embraces her son, a prisoner of war who escaped his North Korean POW camp shortly after the signing of the Korean Armistice Agreement, which ended the widespread fighting of the Korean War, 1953. Woman lounging in the beach with Allied supplies and artillery pieces after the Dunkirk evacuation, 1940. Stalin carrying his daughter Svetlana at his country house in Moscow, 1937. Prince Adalbert of Prussia with his son, 1941. Marx Engels Lenin mural in Ethiopia, 1976-1979. Two French men restrain a woman, while another cuts her hair after she has been accused of collaborating with the Germans during the occupation, 1945. Cooking pork over an open pit, Braswell Plantation, near Rocky Mount, North Carolina, USA, September 1944. Chinese President Jiang Zemin and Henry Kissinger, 1995. Photographs of everyday life in 1950s New York City discovered in an attic 45 years later. All images courtesy of Soren Larson. C. Frank Larson. Rare photos of 1970s women and untold crazy stories. Welcome to Who Remembers? Ever wonder what made the 70s so iconic? Get ready to journey back to a decade of dazzling glamour and groundbreaking style. We're unveiling the secrets of 1970s Hollywood, revealing rare photos and little-known videos of the era's most legendary actresses. From disco queens to bohemian goddesses, we'll explore the beauty and fashion that defined a generation. Caroline Jane Monroe. Caroline Monroe, born in 1949, wasn't just a beautiful face. She was a talented English actress, model, and singer who took the 70s and 80s by storm. Imagine a young girl growing up in Rottingdean, attending a seminary. Who could have guessed she'd become a horror icon? Talk about a fascinating life trajectory. Caroline's stunning looks and captivating presence caught the eye of Hammer Film Productions, the studio famous for its horror films. She quickly became a star, appearing in classics like Dracula AD 1972 and Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. These films cemented her place in horror history. But Caroline wasn't limited to just one genre. She proved her acting chops in adventure films like The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and even graced the screen as a Bond girl in The Spy Who Loved Me. Talk about range. Her contribution to the genre was truly significant. In 2019, Caroline's dedication to the film industry, particularly in the world of horror, was recognized when she was inducted into the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards Monster Kid Hall of Fame. Katherine Bach. Born in Ohio in 1954, Katherine grew up on a farm in South Dakota, the daughter of an acupuncturist and a rancher. Talk about an interesting mix. That down-to-earth upbringing certainly shaped her. After graduating high school in 1970, she followed her dreams to Los Angeles, enrolling at UCLA to study acting. She even started sewing clothes for friends and theater groups to make ends meet. Resourceful, right? Katherine's big break came with the role of Daisy Duke in The Dukes of Hazzard. Those iconic short shorts, that sassy attitude. Daisy Duke became a phenomenon. Katherine wasn't just playing a character, she was creating a cultural icon. She became a role model for a generation, proving that women could be both strong and stylish. But Katherine's talent extends beyond Daisy Duke. She showed her versatility with roles like Margot Dutton in African Skies, and even appeared in the popular soap opera The Young and the Restless as Anita Lawson. Katherine Bach's career is a testament to her dedication and talent. She's a reminder that success isn't always a straight line. Sometimes, it's about embracing different opportunities and working hard to achieve your goals. From sewing clothes to starring in a hit TV series, Katherine's journey is truly inspiring. She carved a distinct space for herself in Hollywood through a combination of hard work and ingenuity. Marilu Henner. Let's hear it for Marilu Henner, a true talent with a vibrant personality. Born in Chicago in 1952, with Greek and Polish heritage, Marilu was surrounded by a diverse family that nurtured her love for the arts. It's no surprise she ended up in the entertainment world. Her journey began on the stage, starring in the original 1971 production of Grease. Can you imagine? Right there at the beginning of that cultural phenomenon. Then, she transitioned to the big screen, making her film debut in the 1977 comedy drama Between the Lines. A solid start, but the best was yet to come. Marilu's breakthrough role, the one that made her a household name, was Elaine O'Connor Nardo on the hit sitcom Taxi. The show ran from 1978 to 1983, and Marilu's portrayal of the quick-witted, independent Elaine earned her not one, not two, but 5 Golden Globe nominations. That's incredible. Her comedic timing was impeccable, her delivery sharp, and she brought a real warmth to the character. Elaine became a fan favorite, and Marilu's performance solidified her place as a comedic powerhouse. With her natural charisma and undeniable acting talent, Marilu Henner became a true entertainment icon. She's one of those performers who just lights up the screen, and her role on Taxi remains a classic example of sitcom brilliance. Olivia Newton-John. Born in Cambridge, England in 1948, Olivia's life story is as fascinating as her career. She grew up with a rich, multicultural background. Her dad was Welsh, and her mom, a German Jewish scholar, escaped Nazi Germany in 1933. That resilience, that strength, is something that really shaped Olivia and her amazing journey. She wasn't just a pretty face singing sweet songs, though. Olivia had genuine talent. She quickly became a beloved singer and actress, charming audiences worldwide with her captivating style and that unforgettable voice. Think about those iconic 70s sounds, soft rock, easy listening, and Olivia was right there, at the top of the charts. 4 Grammy Awards? That's not just a feather in her cap, it's a whole flock of them. She had 15 top 10 singles and 5 songs that hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Albums like If You Love Me, Let Me Know, 1974, and Have You Never Been Mellow, 1975, weren't just hits, they were cultural moments. These albums catapulted her to the top of the Billboard 200, cementing her place as a major artist. And the numbers don't lie. The Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, certified 11 of her singles and 14 albums as gold. That tells you everything about her lasting impact. Jaclyn Smith. Born in Houston, Texas in 1945, she comes from a fascinating multicultural background, a blend of Russian Jewish heritage from her father and British Isles ancestry from her mother. This mix certainly contributed to her unique and captivating presence. After high school, Jaclyn started college, majoring in psychology and drama. But her heart was set on the arts. So she made a bold move, leaving school and heading straight for the bright lights of New York City to study at the prestigious Balanchine School of American Ballet. Talk about following your dreams. It was acting, however, that truly made her a star. Jaclyn landed the role of Kelly Garrett in Charlie's Angels, a show that became a cultural phenomenon in the late 70s. She played the smart, sophisticated Angel, and she was the only original cast member to stay with the series for its entire run. That's loyalty. Charlie's Angels cemented her status as a pop culture icon, a true symbol of 70s glamour. But Jaclyn wasn't content to just be an actress. In the 80s, she tapped into her business acumen, developing and marketing her own lines of clothing and perfume. This was a smart move, showcasing her entrepreneurial spirit and solidifying her brand beyond Hollywood. From the small screen to the world of business, Jaclyn Smith has proven she's more than just a beautiful face. She's a savvy businesswoman and a true inspiration. She truly embodied the independent, can-do spirit of the era. Cheryl Ladd. Let's talk about Cheryl Ladd, a small-town girl who became a 70s icon. Born Cheryl Jean Stoppelmoor in South Dakota in 1951, she had big dreams and the talent to match. Her parents, a waitress and a railroad engineer, probably never imagined their daughter would become a household name. But Cheryl had a passion for the arts, and right after high school, she hit the road with a band called The Music Shop, playing gigs all across the Midwest. That experience gave her valuable stage presence and performance skills. In 1970, Cheryl took a leap of faith and moved to Los Angeles. It was a bold move, but she was determined to make it in the entertainment industry. And it paid off. In 1977, she landed the role of a lifetime, replacing Farrah Fawcett Majors as Chris Monroe on Charlie's Angels. Talk about big shoes to fill. But Cheryl wasn't intimidated. She brought her own charm and talent to the role, quickly becoming a fan favorite. She helped keep Charlie's Angels a massive hit until it ended in 1981, solidifying her place as a 70s and 80s icon. And her career didn't end there. Cheryl continued to act in films like Purple Hearts, Millennium, Poison Ivy, Permanent Midnight, and even more recently, Unforgettable. She's demonstrated her versatility and staying power, taking on diverse roles and proving she's more than just a pretty face. Which of these incredible women do you think broke the most barriers in the 1970s? How did they pave the way for future generations? Bianca Jagger. Born Bianca Perez Mora Matias in Nicaragua, she came from a privileged background but carved her own path. She won a scholarship to study political science in Paris, a city that would transform her life. It was there, in the heart of fashion and art, that her modeling career took off. With her striking looks, that slim figure, smoky eyes, and full lips, she quickly turned heads. Meeting Mick Jagger in 1970 was another turning point. Becoming the Rolling Stones frontman's heartthrob propelled her into the spotlight. She moved to New York and quickly established herself as a true style icon of the 70s. Now, Bianca wasn't just following trends, she was creating them. She was a pioneer of the menswear trend for women, rocking suits with a confidence that defied convention. She famously declared, "I don't love fashion, I love style," making it clear she wasn't interested in fleeting fads. She wanted timeless elegance. Her sense of style, she explained, was deeply personal. Influenced by her father's elegant linen suits and a desire to challenge traditional gender roles, Bianca found power in menswear. She saw it as a way to break free from the limitations placed on women. Yves Saint Laurent, she said, was her style mentor, a designer who understood the power of clothing to liberate women. She adored his suits. She felt glamorous in Halston's designs and drawn to the subtle minimalism of Calvin Klein. She was an intellectual powerhouse, earning 3 doctorates and contributing as a sharp, insightful writer to major newspapers in the US, UK, and France. Bianca Jagger wasn't just a pretty face. She was a woman of substance, a true original who used her platform to advocate for human rights and express her unique perspective on the world. Diana Ross. Let's talk about a true icon of the 70s, the one and only Diana Ross. Now, the 70s were all about disco, right? Think bell-bottoms, big hair, thin eyebrows, glossy lips, and long lashes. But it was more than just a look. It was an attitude. It was about independence. It was about confidence. And Diana Ross embodied all of that and more. She wasn't just a singer, she was a superstar. She owned the stage with her incredible voice, her dazzling costumes, and that undeniable charisma. Alongside other powerhouse women like Cher, Debbie Harry, and Jane Birkin, Diana defined the era. She was a force of nature, a true diva in the best sense of the word. Diana's music was the soundtrack to a generation. Her songs were anthems of empowerment and self-love. She wasn't just singing, she was inspiring. She gave a voice to a generation of women who were breaking barriers and demanding to be heard. Jerry Hall. Born in Texas in 1956, she wasn't just a small-town girl, she was destined for bigger things. By the 1970s, she was a supermodel, one of the most sought-after faces in the world. That striking beauty, that unique style. Jerry Hall owned the runway. But she didn't limit herself to the catwalk. Jerry was a multifaceted talent, venturing into acting and landing a memorable role in the 1989 blockbuster Batman. That part solidified her place in the entertainment industry, proving she wasn't just a model, she was a performer. Now, Jerry's personal life was as captivating as her career. Her long-term relationship with Mick Jagger, the legendary frontman of the Rolling Stones, not only put her in the spotlight, but also made her a part of rock and roll history. They had 4 children together, and their relationship became a fixture in the tabloids. And then, a twist in the tale. Jerry later married media mogul Rupert Murdoch, becoming his 4th wife. That marriage, though, ended in 2022. From the bright lights of fashion runways to the whirlwind of high-profile romances, Jerry Hall's life has been nothing short of a captivating adventure. Charlotte Rampling. Born in 1946 in Essex, England, her life story is a fascinating mix of glamour and resilience. Her parents, an Olympic athlete and a painter, gave her a unique upbringing, but her childhood was also marked by instability, with the family moving between Gibraltar, France, and Spain. Then, tragedy struck in 1966 when she lost her sister. Despite these challenges, Charlotte's spirit wasn't broken. She channeled her energy into her career, starting as a model and quickly transitioning to acting. Her role as Meredith in the 1966 film Georgie Girl was her breakthrough, opening doors to both French and Italian cinema. She became an icon, starring in films that explored complex themes and pushed boundaries, such as The Damned and the controversial The Night Porter. Charlotte Rampling wasn't afraid to take risks. She embraced challenging roles that showcased her incredible range and depth as an actress. Her career spanned decades, marked by captivating performances and collaborations with renowned directors like Francois Ozon. Films like Swimming Pool and Young and Beautiful demonstrated her ability to portray complex, multi-layered characters with a captivating intensity. Lindsay Wagner. Born in 1949, this American actress wasn't just a pretty face, she was a powerhouse. Now you might know her best as Jaime Summers, the incredible Bionic Woman. Think about it, 1976, the disco ball is spinning, bell-bottoms are in full swing, and bam! Here comes this strong, independent woman with superhuman abilities, kicking butt and taking names. It wasn't just about the cool gadgets and the action, though. What made Lindsay so special was her ability to portray Jaime with real heart. She brought a vulnerability and depth to a character who could literally leap tall buildings in a single bound. It was a rare feat in science fiction back then. Often the characters were more like cardboard cutouts. But Lindsay made Jaime human. She made her relatable. And the success was undeniable. The Bionic Woman was a massive hit, launching Lindsay into superstardom. In fact, she made history. In 1977, she became the very first actress to win an Emmy for a science fiction series. That's a big deal, folks. That award wasn't just for her. It was a win for women in sci-fi, a whole genre that often sidelined female leads. But Lindsay's story doesn't end with the Bionic Woman. Her career, which started in 1971, has spanned decades. She's kept busy with a variety of film and television roles, proving her talent goes far beyond those amazing bionic limbs. Cher. We're talking about Cher, the one and only. Born Sherilyn Sarkeesian in 1946, her life story is as dramatic and dazzling as her career. Growing up wasn't easy. Her parents divorced early on, and she had a challenging childhood with a mother who worked hard to support them. This resilience, this grit, it's part of what made Cher so incredibly strong and independent. Now, Goddess of Pop isn't just a title, it's a description of her impact. For over 6 decades, she's reigned supreme, captivating audiences with that unique, powerful contralto voice and her incredible ability to reinvent herself time and time again. Think about it. She completely changed her look and style throughout her career, constantly pushing boundaries. She first shot to fame in the mid-60s as part of the duo Sonny and Cher. Who can forget I Got You Babe? It was a massive hit. But Cher wasn't just a half of a duo. She was a force of nature. She later launched a wildly successful solo career, giving us hits like Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down. The 70s saw her take on television with the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. Millions tuned in each week not just for the laughs, but for a glimpse of Cher's incredible style. Think bold colors, shimmering fabrics, extravagant designs. She wasn't afraid to experiment and push the boundaries of fashion. She became a trendsetter, influencing everything from hairstyles to outfits. Jacqueline Kennedy. While Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis's 60s style as First Lady is legendary, those A-line dresses, Chanel suits, and pillbox hats are iconic, her 70s style was equally captivating, albeit in a more relaxed, understated way. She traded in the formal attire for a more bohemian-inspired look, while still maintaining her signature elegance. Jackie O embraced the effortless chic of designers like Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, and Balenciaga. Her 70s wardrobe consisted of simple, well-cut basics, think tailored pants, crisp shirts, and flowing skirts. But it was her accessories that truly elevated her look. A chic headscarf, often tied in a knot under her chin, and oversized sunglasses added a touch of mystery and glamour. She perfected the art of understated elegance, proving that true style transcends trends. This more relaxed approach to fashion reflected her evolving lifestyle. No longer bound by the strict protocols of the White House, she was free to express herself in a more personal, individualistic way. And she did so with effortless grace, becoming a style icon for a new generation. Jackie O demonstrated that true style is timeless and transcends any particular decade. She was, and remains, a true fashion inspiration. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Raquel Welch. Born in 1940, Raquel quickly became a global icon. Her career took off with a fantastic role in Fantastic Voyage in 1966, leading to a major contract with 20th Century Fox. But it was 1 million years BC that really launched her into superstardom, even though she only had a few lines. That iconic deerskin bikini image, it became a cultural phenomenon, instantly making her an international sex symbol. Those posters were everywhere. But Raquel was much more than just a pretty face. She was a talented actress. She proved her versatility time and again, tackling diverse roles in films like Bedazzled, Bandolero, 100 Rifles, Myra Breckinridge, Hannie Calder, Kansas City Bomber, The Last of Sheila, The Three Musketeers, The Wild Party, and Mother, Jugs, and Speed. She wasn't just playing one type of character. She was constantly challenging herself and showcasing her range. She also graced our television screens with appearances in several variety shows. Who was your favorite 70s style icon and why? Jane Seymour. Born Joyce Penelope Wilhelmina Frankenberg in 1951, she chose Jane Seymour as her stage name. A smart move, don't you think? It certainly rolls off the tongue. Her debut was in the musical comedy Oh, What a Lovely War in 1969. A small part, uncredited even, but it was a start. And what a start it was, kicking off a prolific career that just took off from there. She quickly landed leading roles, including a spot on the popular television series The Wundin Line. Then came 1973, the year that changed everything. Jane Seymour became a Bond girl, solitaire in Live and Let Die. Talk about iconic. That role put her firmly on the map. From there, she only continued to impress critics and audiences alike. She earned an Emmy nomination for her outstanding performance in the miniseries Captains and the Kings in 1976, and the awards didn't stop there. In 1982, she snagged her first Golden Globe for East of Eden. The accolades kept coming. 3 more Golden Globe nominations followed, for roles in prestigious productions like Onassis, The Richest Man in the World, and the epic miniseries War and Remembrance, which also earned her another Emmy nomination. Ali MacGraw. Ali MacGraw, the star of Love Story, wasn't just a talented actress. She was a style icon who perfectly captured the 70s aesthetic. She effortlessly blended classic New England prep with a touch of bohemian flair, creating a look that was both timeless and utterly unique. Think tailored pieces mixed with flowing skirts, earthy textures, and a touch of free-spirited charm. Ali's fashion choices were as diverse as her roles. She could rock a short Maud Ossie Clark dress one day and a glamorous gown the next, always adding a touch of unexpected cool. Who could forget the feathered cape she wore to the premiere of The Godfather? It was a moment of pure 70s magic, a perfect example of her ability to blend elegance with a touch of bohemian whimsy. Ali MacGraw wasn't just following trends, she was creating them. Her style was a reflection of her personality, intelligent, sophisticated, and with a touch of rebellious spirit. She inspired a generation of women to embrace their individuality and express themselves through fashion. She proved that style isn't about conforming to a certain look. It's about finding what works for you and owning it with confidence. She was the embodiment of a free-spirited, sophisticated woman. Debbie Harry. Debbie Harry, the punk rock goddess who fronted Blondie and became a true icon. Born Angela Trimble in 1945, she was adopted and raised in New Jersey. Her journey to stardom was anything but typical. In the 60s, she worked as a Playboy bunny and immersed herself in the vibrant New York City art scene, frequenting hotspots like Max's Kansas City, a hangout for Andy Warhol and his crew. Talk about an exciting start. Debbie's musical journey began in 1968 with a folk band, but it wasn't until she met Chris Stein in the early 70s that things really took off. They formed Blondie in 1974, and after a few years of struggle, the band exploded onto the scene, becoming one of the biggest acts of the late 70s and early 80s. Their music was a blend of punk, new wave, and pop, and Debbie's unique vocals and edgy style made her a star. But Blondie's success was short-lived. The band broke up in 1982, but Debbie wasn't about to disappear. She launched a solo career, releasing 5 albums and proving she was a force to be reckoned with, even without the band. She also explored acting, appearing in films, television shows, and even commercials. She became a fixture in the New York downtown scene, known for her edgy style and rebellious spirit. She used her platform to support causes she believed in, performing benefit shows for AIDS charities and participating in poetry readings. This woman was a true multi-hyphenate. Angelica Huston. Angelica Huston, with her striking features and captivating presence, became a beauty icon in the 1970s, showcasing a makeup look that was both dramatic and sophisticated. She proved that bold eyes and lips could work together harmoniously, creating a look that was both glamorous and effortlessly chic. Angelica's signature look emphasized her stunning eyes with tawny eyeshadow, thick, inky lashes, and a touch of liner. She paired this with a rich cranberry lip color, creating a contrast that was both striking and elegant. Her makeup wasn't about masking her features. It was about enhancing them, highlighting her natural beauty, and creating a look that was both timeless and memorable. Jacqueline Bisset. While Jacqueline Bisset was certainly celebrated for her beauty in the 1970s, her personal style was surprisingly down-to-earth. Instead of embracing the overtly glamorous looks of the era, she opted for a more relaxed, tomboyish aesthetic. Think comfy cool rather than sex kitten. Bisset's signature 70s style revolved around denim, menswear-inspired pieces, and simple, understated accessories. She effortlessly rocked jeans, tailored blazers, button-down shirts, and comfortable knits. Her look was all about effortless chic, proving that you don't have to sacrifice comfort for style. What's remarkable about Bisset's 70s wardrobe is how timeless it remains. Her outfits wouldn't look out of place today, demonstrating her innate sense of style and her ability to choose pieces that transcended fleeting trends. Jacqueline Bisset's 70s style is a testament to the enduring appeal of classic pieces and the power of understated elegance. She showed the world that true style is about being comfortable in your own skin and choosing clothes that reflect your personality. History has a way of surprising us, and these 100 rare photos are proof of just how extraordinary the past can be. Which image amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden gems, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow history lovers. Thanks for watching.